This is not a it's gonna go wrong type of video. This is the reality of a chronic illness that doesn't have a cure and it can kill you. Okay, hey everyone, it has been a pretty long time since I made a vlog, or one that was more important in regards to medical, so I figured I would touch on at least one of the medical issues that's going on right now. I'm just gonna kind of jump right into the thing that I believe most people know about. In August of 2017, I started having some pretty severe neck pain. We went to many doctors, blew it off. They told me it was migraines. They told me to take some Tylenol, etc. Took my pain management that I've been seeing for over a year and a half, letting me know that it could be Chiari. The severity is really significant. I unfortunately was on the extreme end of that, and my brain was basically dropping about 6 centimeters into my spinal column. At the time, because I was so unable to function, I went with the first doctor that would actually do the surgery. I saw other doctors. One doctor would not touch me. He was too scared. The other doctor, I think he just decided it was too risky. I had my first and second brain surgery April of 2018. I went in for the first one, intending it to only be one, and the machine had not been calibrated the right way. Basically what ended up happening was I had an 8-hour surgery. Everything was fine. I was not awake still. I was pretty heavily sedated. I don't remember anything other than waiting before I had surgery. I can remember bits and pieces. They're not pleasant bits and pieces. They ended up waking me up around 2 a.m. and I remember this. And it was my doctor who said, you know, we have to go in later today and do another 8-hour surgery. Take out all your hardware and put more in. It was not calibrated for me. They had to redo it because the screws were going too far and too close to my spinal column. I had to go back in the following day. I had another surgery and I woke up that night with a halo. Going into this, I was told I would be in a soft collar. I was not told I would need 2 surgeries. I was not told I would be in a thing that looks like Frankenstein for 2.5 months. I couldn't shower. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't lay down. I couldn't wash my hair. I had to learn to walk again. And this was all stuff that I woke up to. I didn't consent to it, but because it was crucial, my parents had to. I ended up being in the hospital for almost 3 weeks, and then the halo an additional 2 months. That was probably the worst thing I've ever gone through. We were hopeful that that would solve it, and it did for a while. It solved a lot of my pain. Almost everything went away, and I was shocked. At about the 1-year mark, I had some headaches coming back. What I was told from the doctor is that, well, I don't want another surgery, do I? And I said, well, no, but I want to be able to function. We made the decision to hold off on it because I didn't feel comfortable with him anymore. He had already done 2 and I was having issues again. At that point, I had to fight to be able to see another neurosurgeon. Most neurosurgeons will not touch you if you've had surgery before, and 2, because of my case. I am extremely high risk. I was at that moment. I am even more now. I need a 3rd one, and that's just what it is. And I have very much so been pushing it off. I am scared. You know, I have had a very bad experience with it. Things happen that you can't plan. But with the anesthesia issues I've recently had with not breathing and, you know, like not coming back to it and having other operations and surgeries and procedures, it's getting more scary. The reality hits when things go wrong. My whole life I've had bad medical, but it became routine. It was, okay, well, you have to go in for another surgery. Okay, that's routine. It's this was different. I don't think I can tell you any other time that I stopped breathing on the OR table. I've had a lot of issues that, you know, caused me to lack a lot of trust in the people that I should be able to trust. So we've seen multiple neurosurgeons in the last 6 months. We ended up picking someone, I'm not going to go into names. I do like him. I think he's confident and he has brought my case to the table. He has brought it to multiple areas, states, online, of course all with my permission. But it was to see which way is the best way to do this, because as much as I want to sugarcoat it, it's not gonna be good. And the risks are tremendous. I've had 2 brain surgeries. I have my neck deteriorating. I have fusion in my neck. I have wiring on one side and rods on the other that are not screwed into my neck, healing like they should be. There's a lot more risks, and with the way they have to do this specific operation, it is going to be even harder because they're going to be going through the back and the front. So we're looking at another 6 to 8 hour operation. Basically what they're going to be doing is going through the back, taking the hardware out, flipping me over with my back open, cutting down through here, taking out my vertebrae, putting in vertebrae that are just a replacement because mine are dissolving. The super scary issue with that is that once they take that out, if the hardware fails, I have nothing holding my head up at all. So then they're stuck with me there with no way to hold my head up, which they don't know until they do it. So you can kind of see where the predicament we're in is, because really I am having to risk a very big thing. And they have not gone into what would happen after that. I can assume it wouldn't be good, but they're hopeful. They think this will work. There's a lot at risk. There is a lot at risk. It's sickening to think about, honestly, because I just am not in a good situation either way. I either don't do it and something could happen, or I do it and something could happen, or nothing is planned because I am very hesitant. I've just kind of been dealing with it and sucking it up. I just am not sure it's worth it yet to put myself through that. This is all up to me. But with having some more symptoms reoccurring now, I am getting more concerned. I have an appointment scheduled as of now to see the surgeon the middle of August. That is not surgery scheduled. What we were planning on for a while was end of August, early September. I would be doing this because I did not want it to happen in the summer again. The reality of it is hard, and it's something I don't want to deal with, and it's just, I've thought about putting it more on the back burner and just pushing it off and not doing it. But I don't know what I'm risking. So that's where I'm at with my neck. It's obviously not the best news. It's not news that I wanted to hear. The reality of it is sinking in a bit more. I think the last few days have been even more difficult for me. I have someone very close that just had Chiari surgery yesterday. And it was probably the scariest thing I've feared for someone. Pretty sure I was more worried about that than I was when I went in for mine. She is out. She is doing okay. Much better off than I was, so I am so grateful for that. She's still struggling a bit, which I remember all of that completely. So she's already walking. I was not at that point until about 6 days. So she's doing good. With that happening and caring about that so much, I guess it was almost like reliving it again. and there were things that I have never processed. I think I didn't prepare myself for going into this with dealing with it with someone else. There is a lot riding on my decision. There are a lot of people, you know, some people know about what's going on. Some people now know what's going on. And I just don't know what decision is right. I don't know what I'm going to make. It's really going to come down to how much I can tolerate and what I'm willing to risk. I'm very on the fence. I am stuck right now with what I'm going to do. Because I'm risking my life. And I'm risking putting other people through something too. You know, the reality of me deciding to do this and something happening, I just don't want it to be the way that something happens. And I don't want to leave people that way. So it's scary. This is not easy stuff. This is very real and very hard stuff to process. I'm putting my life in someone's hands again, and knowing that there will be complications, just we don't know what. And it's not that I'm being negative. I'm not trying to look for the negative. I'm being realistic. Because I've been told that it could go either way. And even if it doesn't get that severe, it could be bad after. I could make it worse. I don't have anyone that can give me the right answer, and I don't know if I trust my answer. I just have to know that if I do this, that I have to be prepared either way. Whether it be that I'm going to come out of this completely fine and better, or I come out of this worse off. It's gonna have to be a decision I make soon. I felt like this was something that really needed to be said, because I can put a lot of good pictures on my social media, as do a lot of other people. But that is not my full story. There are things going on behind the scenes, much like this, that a lot of people have no idea about. I would rather be completely upfront and honest with everyone than beat around the bushes and portray this expected ability to handle everything. I am not Wonder Woman. So, that's been a pretty crappy update on my medical. And yeah, but, you know, this is just that I have to be upfront, and I have to be realistic with letting everyone know, because if this is part of what goes into being chronically ill and I am deciding to put my story out there, everything has to be put out there, as much as I would like, but this is part of it. We'll see where that goes, but I'm hopefully going to be making a more positive video soon, and I will also be making a video with all of my other updated medical, which is nowhere near as severe as this. Thank you to everyone who has supported me or stood by me, or, you know, endured the emotions that I am now going through with someone else, because it is unbelievable the amount of emotions you can feel when you're not even the one having it done. It's worse. With that, thank you for following me in my journey of fighting for freedom. See you guys later.